Hey, what's up guys, Kevin here at Dark Spidey. Okay, so we have a new Berserk statue today. This is Guts, the main character. It's made by Gecco, a Japanese company, and it's a PVC statue. Okay, so this is both going to be a video review where I'm going to say what I think about the piece, and I'm going to explain as well what I've done with it because I've repainted a few parts. Okay, so first off, let me say that what you get straight out of the box is very good quality. It's not a cheap statue at all. It costs about $300, but what you get is better, in my opinion, than most other statue companies, seriously. And I know for a fact that PVCs are more often than not very good quality, but in this case I was fairly impressed with it. And so I was looking at it, I was happy with it, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to display this as is, I'm not going to touch it, but then I realized after a few hours I was looking at it and there was something bugging me, and it was the skin parts, the skin tones. So what you get from the company is very pale looking, a bit like the prototype, to be honest. So he's got this very pale complexion, and it actually looked like it was flesh tinted PVC and it was not painted at all. Also, the portraits were looking kind of weird because the face was very pale and the neck was brown, like two different colors. So it was a little weird, and I thought, okay, I need to repaint this. Now the problem is, like I said, it's PVC and it's all assembled, all glued, and I cannot use a chemical like acetone to melt down the glue and remove all the parts that I need to remove, because otherwise it would melt the whole thing. Acetone would eat through the plastic, through the PVC, and I would be left with a ruined statue. So that was not going to happen. So I had to mask off all the parts that I wanted to keep from the factory paint job. And as you can see, his armor is kind of intricate, so it was a lot of masking job using silver putty and masking tape. Okay, so I repainted all the skin parts entirely. Did my thing, painted some shadows, the veins. I wanted him to look contrasted, to give him this cool Japanese anime feel, and at the same time not too contrasted. I didn't want him to look like 2D or anything, just all the right shadows. And so that was the first step. Second step, I thought the armor was looking too dark. It was like a gloss black, but it wasn't looking too metallic to me. So I painted some highlights to all the armor parts, some scuffs to the armor, scratches and everything. It's maybe hard to see because of the lighting, but if you look on his knees, then you can tell. So originally it was all like this, so it's kind of looking like a gloss black, but that's it. So I painted some highlights just to make it look more metallic to all the highlighted areas, and painted some scratches. So that was the second part of the repaint. And then I realized this is Berserk. It's known for being ultra violent, and it needs blood. Now the thing with blood is tricky. It's tricky because you gotta find the right dosage where you don't want to go overboard with it. Otherwise, there's no point in repainting the statue if you're gonna cover it in blood. And at the same time, you don't want too little blood because it's gonna look weird, and it's not gonna look good at all. So I did some blood splatter all over the statue. First it was too little, I believe. I just painted some, all of his wounds, and then I stopped. And I was looking at it, and I thought, a friend of mine, I sent him pictures, and he said, maybe you could add a little more blood. So I added a little more blood, and I added even a little more blood after that, but now I'm done with it. I'm not gonna add any more blood, otherwise it's gonna be, it's gonna be too much. I still want my paint job to show through, all the blood splatter, and otherwise it's gonna ruin it. So added blood pretty much everywhere that would look, you know, that would make sense. Of course, I added blood to his big ass sword, also called Dragon's Lair. When you get it from the factory straight out of the box, it's not looking, you know, it's slightly reddish, like it's tainted in blood, but it's not gory looking, or, you know, it's not that fresh blood like you have here with the drops and everything. Okay, so I also repainted the base. Not entirely, but I added colors. Basically, the base is all one color when you get it, and it's grayish type of skin tone all over. There's no little to no contrast. So I added some green, yellow ink everywhere, then some brown, and then just a little black to add, you know, a little contrast and make it look, you know, gross and like it's the insides of the apostles. I did this little pool of blood here just to make it look gory. Repainted all the blood, the intestines and everything, and when you get it, the blood is painted, is looking very pink, so it doesn't have this fresh blood type of look. So I redid all of that. And the last step of the repaint process was to repaint his cape, his cloak. Now when you get it, when you buy the statue, it's gray. And I wasn't too happy with it because it was looking like rocks. It was very dry brushed. It was, yeah, to me it was looking like rocks, and I wasn't too happy with it. And the thing is, when you look at him, he's mainly black. It's all gray, black, and I thought if his cape is gonna be gray, you know, it doesn't give him, you know, too much color, you know, variation in the color, and I thought brown would look better. Now I know he's known as the Black Swordsman, but if you look at, you know, colored illustrations, if you can find any, there aren't too many. I've looked a lot. Well, you'll find that his cape is either brown or black with gray highlights. So in this case, it looks the part. I think it is accurate as well, and it's just a look that I like better for him. Okay, so this guy comes with two portraits. This is the regular calm portrait, I think, like his neutral expression, and it also comes with what they call the sneering portrait, which I absolutely hated when I got it. And now I think it's extremely cool. Now the thing is, since he was lacking, you know, shading, it was kind of looking like he was smiling, but it was looking a little stupid. But now that he's got shading, you know, in place, around the eyes, everything, I like the fact that he looks really confident, like he's unstoppable. He's just killed 2 apostles, and he's, you know, super happy with the 2 kills. And I think it's a very cool looking head sculpt. And yeah, there's a lot of pages in the books where he's got this, you know, kind of weird smile, smirk. So yeah, very cool looking portrait. It's a very cool display option. And also, since you got 2 different heads, I painted the hair on each head differently. So this is more like a bluish type of gray, and this is more like a brown. Again, it's a subtle difference, but I thought, you know, if I'm gonna have 2 portraits, I might as well make them different. I'm gonna switch back to the other one though, because it's probably my favorite. I really like it. It looks really badass. Okay, so overall, you know, even though I repainted it, it's, you know, I highly recommend it. It's a very cool 1/6 statue. there aren't a lot of Guts statues out there that, you know, don't cost an arm and leg. I think this is a reasonable price, you know, given the size and what you get. And I know that PVC is looked down upon a lot. I don't really get it personally. I think it's a very, very cool material. It gives, you know, a lot of cool options and cool little features, like, you know, this thing here. If it was resin, you couldn't do this. You couldn't open it, and all little straps and everything is flexible, and that's very cool. Little like mixed media in a way, except it's not cloth. And to me, it's looking really, really good. And if you were to display it next to other resin statues, there is absolutely no way whatsoever, you know, people could tell that this guy here is plastic. He looks like a very, very cool statue to me, even though he's made of PVC. Okay guys, so I think I've covered everything. I hope you like what I've done with the piece. I really hope they continue the line. I'm looking forward to seeing more versions of Guts, other characters, Femto, Griffith, and whatnot. I really hope they, you know, keep doing Berserk statues, and, you know, with this level of quality, because, again, even straight out of the box, it's a very cool statue to me. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you like the result. I hope you like the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be seeing you soon for more kits and repaints. Right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.